Let us be a people after your heart. Let us be a love that shatters the dark. Let us be holy, shining your glory. After all, we're the people of God. Send us out.
We read in Judges chapter 15, verses 1 through 6. Later on, during the wheat harvest, Samson took a young goat as a present to his wife. He said, "I'm going into my wife's room to sleep with her," but her father wouldn't let him. "I truly thought you must hate her," her father explained, "so I gave her in marriage to your best man. But look, her younger sister is even more beautiful than she is. Marry her instead." Samson said, "This time I cannot be blamed for everything I am going to do to you Philistines." Then he went out and caught 300 foxes. He tied their tails together in pairs, and he fastened a torch to each pair of tails. Then he lit the torches and let the foxes run through the grain fields of the Philistines. He burned all their grain to the ground, including the sheaves and the uncut grain. He also destroyed their vineyards and olive groves. "Who did this?" the Philistines demanded. Samson was the reply, because his father-in-law in Timnah gave Samson's wife to be married to his best man. So the Philistines went and got the woman and her father and burned them to death. For a lot of men, anger is a default emotion. When someone embarrasses us, rarely do we feel only embarrassment. Most of the time, that embarrassment also makes us angry. "Nobody's going to make me look like a fool," we would say. "They'll be sorry they messed with me," we would say. That's because when men experience something negative, anger is usually our automatic response. You might have thought Samson's reaction from yesterday was over the top, killing 30 guys to pay off a gambling debt. But he was just getting warmed up. What we read today, he really turned up the heat. And after Samson stormed off from his engagement celebration, his bride's father was embarrassed that his future son-in-law just disappeared. So he did what any father in that position would do. He gave her to another man in the wedding party. This may not make sense to us, but it was appropriate in their culture at the time. What we read today, we saw what happened when Samson returned to find his wife had been married to another man. Now let's review Samson's greatest hits so far. He went someplace he had no business going to. He lusted after, then pursued the wrong woman. He ignored his parents' advice and God's wisdom. He touched dead things. He got drunk. He taunted the Philistines with his riddle. And he gave his own secret away. He left his wife at the altar to go kill a bunch of guys. And who was responsible for every single one of these actions? Samson himself. Samson keeps getting mad at the world, but in reality, almost everything that happened was his own fault. At any point, he could have backed off, even just a little. If he had just taken a minute to cool off, maybe he even could have turned things around. Instead, over and over, he escalated every situation, forcing others to react. And today we read about one more emotional decision from Samson that forces an emotional response from the Philistines and costs him everything he cares about. And what about you? If you're angry at those around you, where is your responsibility in that? Could it be possible that at least some of the hard things you're going through right now are the result of perhaps even a direct consequence of your own choices? Really try to be honest with yourself here. Don't feel tempted to make excuses for your behavior. If you do, it's time to stop and fight that temptation. Own your part. Ask for forgiveness if you need to. And not just from God, but from the people that your actions and attitudes may have hurt. Ask God's Spirit to lead you. Then go make the hard changes He shows you.
And